Welcome back, everyone, to another episode. Today, we're actually starting out over at the Pillager Outpost right back here because we are going to be working with these guys a little bit today. I guess maybe not with these guys, maybe against these guys, because we're going to start up our industrial district today. I'm actually pretty excited about that. I have built a lot of farms in the past and haven't really gotten a chance to do a whole lot over here. But we are going to start that out with a raid farm, and we're actually in a really good spot for it because I don't have any villagers over there in the Pirate Cove, but there's a village right over that way a little bit more. You might actually be able to see it if you are over on the other side of the island here. But before that, I have one more thing to show you that I've been working on in between episodes. Uh-oh. Oh, man. Oh, and there's a drown. Hey, get out of here. And that's actually right here. Now, this might look like a pretty familiar view. It doesn't look like a whole lot has changed. But if you just come over the hill here, I've mentioned a couple of times that I'm breeding some turtles for their scoots to make a turtle helmet. And I have kind of done a little bit of work to clean this up a bit more. Before, there were just some walls up so that zombies couldn't get in, and it didn't look great. But I think this blends in really well with the sand. It goes into the ocean a little bit. You can see the leaves there. And I tried to get some like seaweed clumps on top so that it looks like the ocean's kind of been washing over it and then pulling back the sand over here to kind of erode it back into the ocean. But I'm just really happy with how this looks. I didn't plan to do anything much with the turtles on camera, but I just wanted to show this off really quick. But like I said before, today we are going to be working on our industrial district, and I've actually picked out a spot that's pretty far out that way over the ocean for us to build our raid farm. And this is a design from Shulkercraft that I will probably just speed up a little bit as I build it, but it is supposed to be a really great raid farm. Like I said, we have a village over there, so we're going to get a lot of emeralds to trade with those guys. I don't plan to do a whole lot with villagers, but I would like to be able to trade with them if I need glass or anything like that. So we're going to build this up, and I think I've got some plans to decorate that place a little bit. I don't think it really fits the vibe that I'm going for over here, so we'll tackle that a little bit later after we build the farm. But before we do anything like that, we need to actually get to where we're going to build it. So I'm going to grab some of this stuff and hop in a boat. And where did I leave my boat? There it is. It's tucked in with the turtles. But we are going to head out this way. And it's a spot that's not too far away. I think it's pretty much just, actually, maybe it's this way. I think it might be this way. So here we are. I've placed this dirt right here, and we've got a little spot over there that we can also stand on if we need the extra space. But this is a pretty good spot. It's like right in the middle of the ocean, which is great. You can see a little bit of land over there, but I don't think anything should spawn over there. This might be an issue if we need to spawn proof under there, but I looked around and I didn't see anything that was super concerning. There were no huge caves under here besides this, so I think we should be okay. But let's put this chest down right here. We will start loading everything in and yeah, bring everything over. And like I said, this is a pretty intense raid farm, so we're going to need to build it way up there because we don't want the pillagers or the raid party to spawn anywhere else. And then we're going to need to get the villager up there too, which is going to be, oh, fell in the water, which is going to be pretty tricky, but I think we can manage that with some pistons or something, maybe a flying machine to get him up there. Okay, so I didn't actually need to go up nearly as high as I thought I did. You can still see just a little bit of land, but that shouldn't be an issue. But you can really get a scale for like how big this area is. And we're going to try to fill up a lot of it with AFK farms. Now some of it we're going to need to move a little bit further, maybe that way, just a little bit further out. But for the most part, we're going to be taking up a big chunk of this water. And so I'm going to start with the raid farm, mostly because it's the first one that really needs a villager, and you only need one. So we can just grab one from over there before we get a whole lot set up and move it up here. But I think I need to be facing that way. I'll kind of explain what I'm doing as I go, but most of it I think I'm just going to do off camera and cut a little bit in between. So I'll come in a little bit and kind of explain what's going on. Okay, so we've done some work here. I just put that water in there, but basically there's a villager that's going to be standing on that bed right there. This little system actually works to push you up to the platform where you're going to be standing and getting all the loot. So when you are standing on this pressure plate, let me see if I can do this without falling off. You hit that pressure plate and it pushes you into that fence, which is going to shoot you all the way up. But the next step is to build up a wall here. So we're going up all the way up this way. I think it's 22-ish, 23 blocks. Okay, so I would normally wait until it's not raining anymore to test this out. But we've got this whole line all the way up there. It's a little bit longer than I initially expected. It's actually about 80 blocks. What we should be able to do is just knock out that bottom one, and what this is going to do is it's going to just push us into that water stream, and we'll just be riding right along the edge, so we get brought all the way up to the top, and it works pretty well. And then I think what you can do afterwards, because we have that water on the slab there, so we should just be able to, oh, I should probably, yep, okay. Didn't test that beforehand, but that breaks our fall, so when we get pushed back down, that's going to be there to keep us from falling all the way and breaking some bones. And it brings us just inside of the radius for the villager to detect us so that it triggers another raid. So we'll get pushed back up to the top once we land. Okay, so we've got a lot going on here, but it's all relatively straightforward. We kind of have three separate modules going on. So we've got this over here. This is a system similar to what we've got on the bottom, where when that pressure plate gets triggered, it will push off this observer, and then basically, as long as someone is still standing on that pressure plate, it will push out a redstone signal and kind of continuously try to push them into this spot. I think it's around here. And that leads us to this side. So this is a hopper clock. It's a pretty basic design. Essentially what you have is a number of things in the hopper there. This redstone block will lock it. So as long as it is powered over on this side, things cannot come out of there. But as soon as we flip this switch, it pushes it over this way. Things start draining into this hopper, and then we can take that redstone signal out. So this will trigger this trapdoor to change, which will update this observer, which will push into this block, which will close that trapdoor, and that will make us fall all the way back down. And then this over here, this is all just hoppers for what we will be actually collecting. So all of the emeralds and totems and stuff. Okay, so this next part is a little bit confusing, so I figured I would just show it. So basically, we've got these two hoppers right here. And so we want to put a cake here, and then I think it's a rail going into there. And then we've got a minecart with hopper. And so I think if we just nudge that a bit, so that's technically now sitting on both the left and the right hopper. So it should fill both up, and we can even test that out if we do something like that. Yeah, right there. So we've got 2 in that one, and an egg, and 2 in that one. So we should be able to break that. And then we want to push a block into the minecart hopper. And then that. And then we should be able to put a block into that and then activate it. Do I have any more levers on me? Let's just take this one. And do that. And then we break that. Now anything that lands on this block will get put evenly into those two hoppers. So it should drain out twice as fast. We're going to be getting a lot of emeralds, so it's going to be pretty efficient. Okay, so after we get the block in there, we're going to want to build up this little contraption over here. So these trapdoors over here, I think, are to make sure that all of the mobs are lined up again correctly on top of that block. I'm not totally sure, but basically this way you'll make sure that they are in the right spot so that we'll be standing down there and we'll actually be able to hit everyone. I think it just aligns everyone up. We've also added in these chests, which should give us enough of a gap in between here to actually slice the pillagers. And we're going to need to build up another tube all the way to the top now. I think we need to go up to another 20 or so. Okay, so we are up at the top. We've built this little spawning platform, so this is where all the mobs are going to drop in and then get funneled into that corner. So we should just need to put that water there, and then, yep, it'll push them all over into here. I'm not going to go down there just yet because that's a pretty big fall. And I'm going to build a platform, so it's just a 2-block wide kind of ring around here. So we should be able to just cover up that glass and then make this go all the way out here. Yep, so it just needs to be a 2-block wide ring around the entire thing. And then we're going to build up a wall that's 3 high. Okay, so here's another kind of confusing part that I can do a full walkthrough on. So we're going to need to repeat this same pattern on all of the sides of this platform here. So this is going to filter out all of the larger mobs, and then everything else should drop into this kind of 1 wide strip and then down into our hole. So that's going to be, this is going to help filter things out. And we're going to start with those 2 chests. So we're going to do a chest on either side of the middle, and then we're going to do a temporary block on top of that. So I'm just going to use dirt, put the trapdoor on the back here and open it up, and then do the same on this side. And then we also need to do temporary blocks in between all of that as well, and then put the trapdoors up like this. So basically the only spots that aren't going to have blocks on them are right on top of this chest, which is where we see this falling into here. It can't flow off to either side because those trapdoors are there, and similarly up here can't flow off to either of these sides because these trapdoors are here. Next up, we need to put the fence gate in front. So what that's going to do is it's going to actually hold up the lava. So we put one on either side and open it up. And then we should be able to get rid of these blocks now. And then we put a temporary block on top of those. And then put a trap door on those. Try not to fall in here. And then on top of that, we want to put a button. We'll do that over here as well. So there, there, and there. And now we should be able to put the temporary blocks on the front pieces and then put in the lava. And I hope that this works. So we should be able to put it right on top of that one. It should flow into that. Yep. And then we can remove the temporary block. So that, again, because that was a little bit quick, we've got this all set up. We are going to put the lava on top of the fence gate and then wait for it to flow. And then, yep, that is all set. So we just need to do that 2 more times on either side, and then we should be all good with everything. I think this is the entire farm at this point. So now that that top part is done, we're just going to spawn proof the rest of the area, and then we get the fun task of getting the villager up to their bed. Where is it? It's right. It's way down there. Yeah, so we need to get the villager into their bed next, which is probably going to be the hardest part. There we go. And okay, we're off. So it should just be straight that way. And I'm going to need to use some pistons to get everything up there. I've got an idea. I haven't tested it out yet, though. So let's get this guy over there first, and then do I have a piston? I do have a piston, and I've got some dirt. This should be fine. So we will start by putting the dirt down here, just underneath that boat. Then we need to build down a few and take out the middle one. Now we've got our piston and we've got our redstone block. Once we get them up a couple, we'll probably move it. But if we put the piston down there, then make sure he's in the right spot. Can we just nudge him in the boat at all? I think it should be fine. Okay, and then like that, and he's up. And then we break it, and we can do that again. Okay. So we've got that up there. Now let's break this piston. Where'd it go? There it is. And we should be able to... Do we have a button? Yes, we do. And just like that. We're going to do this until he's at the top. Okay, so we've blocked him all in here. It's nighttime, which is great. Let's just turn on hitboxes, and if we break that, he goes in there. Cool. And then I think we can just get rid of all the temporary blocks now. So let's do a quick demo with everything in place. We're not going to have Bad Omen just yet, but we will get shot up here. We're going to turn this on, and then I believe what you do is flip that on and then break it and replace it really quick. Yep, just like that. Okay, so that is just aligning everyone up, making sure that that's all good there. I don't think we need anything else. That should be fine. So we will stand up against this wall, get pushed over, and we'll be standing here just clicking. So this is going to work until this fills up, or empties out, I guess. So this should take another 13 seconds-ish, not even. We're still fighting, and then we drop all the way down, and then get pushed all the way back up. And this is where we are triggering the raid. So this should be good. We should be all set. So now we can test it out with everything in there. I think we are good to go. I am worried about getting Bad Omen and then getting up here without triggering the raid that way. So maybe what I'll do is, yeah, I think what I'll do is turn it on now and then go get Bad Omen and then come back and see if it works. Hopefully it doesn't break anything, but if it does, then we'll have to try and fix it. Okay, so we've got Bad Omen. Let's head over to the farm, and I hope that everything's all set up correctly. We're going to need to kind of rush up to the top, but I'm going to try to set spawn nearby before I get up there, just in case something happens. But everything, I hope everything is fine. It's going to be a little bit slow to get up the ladder, but we should be far enough away that the only spot things can spawn is going to be up there anyway. And then, yeah, let's see how close we get before we trigger the raid. And there's the raid bar. So we're relatively close. Let's hope that we can get all the way up there before things start to spawn in too much. Oh, we got victory already. That's going to be a problem. Oh, maybe not. There we go. We got Bad Omen again. Oh, we did get some Vexes. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. That's not good. We might need to figure out a different way up here before we can really test this out. So let's just turn this off. Okay, so we're back up here. We've got the system turned on, so it should switch over in a second. Let me just get in position really quick. And it should be right here. And then I just start clicking that. And hopefully everything works. I've had to work out a few kinks for it so far, but I think we should be good. Okay, there we go. So we're dropping now, and the raid's triggered, so that's great. And we should get brought right back up. And I'm just going to keep clicking, and perfect. It sets us right in place, so we can just keep swinging, and we should be all set. And this should repeat over and over. So hopefully this is all good. Like I said, I've had to work out a couple of kinks so far. We had a leak somewhere with some Vexes, so as long as those are all plugged up, I think we should be good. So I think we're all set. Yep, there it goes. Dropping back down. Re-trigger another raid. And rinse and repeat. So let's get a quick check for how many things we got out of that. It's not too much. We got a couple of totems, which is pretty nice. I had one on me already. A good amount of emeralds, 52 emeralds, and then 18 over here. So that's about a stack of emeralds in maybe 5 minutes, not even. But we are out of time for this episode. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you learned a lot. This is a really fun farm to build. I would have liked to spend some time working on this area behind me and kind of cleaning this up, but I think we'll have to save that for the next episode. And I've got some pretty big plans for this whole area that I'm starting to work out. So I think next episode is going to be a pretty big one. But I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you next time. Bye!